Hello, everybody. It's Mary with Stamps-N-Lingers, and it is Thursday at 1 o'clock, which means it is time for another card. So let me go ahead and do a little bit of refresherizing over on the left side to be sure that I am doing something, which is always a good thing. All right, it looks good. I see a picture of my card, so that's a good start. Have to watch a video on my own video. That's weird. Yeah. Okay. There we go. Looks like, yes, I see my arm actually moving, which is an excellent, excellent sign. So today's card, hello, Faith. I appreciate you joining, my friend. Today we have a fun fold card. I try to do fun folds on the video if I'm going to do a fun fold that needs a little extra explanation. I try to do it with a video. So this is one of them. Hi, Suzette. Hi, Marva. Appreciate you joining. This is called a floating tent fold card, and I had seen a few of them out on Pinterest. There's actually quite a few videos on them, so it's hard to say where I got it exactly, but I did find some measurements. Hey, Ginger, appreciate you coming. This uses the new Filled with Sweetness bundle, which is kind of cute. This one die doesn't fit my 6x7 magnets, and I think we don't get these extra big ones very often, and so I'm not changing the size of my magnets. I'm just not gonna. I just am not gonna. But it takes up 2 whole magnets. And then I've used the branching out dies again, which it carried over. It's in the online exclusives. So that one is kind of fun. But I think you can you see how it's working? You've got this die cut piece in here that is on a little bit of it floats, okay? And part of the trick of this, it's just a regular tent fold card, and then we've put this little W fold or accordion fold in there to hold it together. And I've put a spot to write a little message on the back. And we've done a little fussy cutting, but you'll be glad to know I've done almost all the fussy cutting ahead of time, so we won't need to bother with that. And oh, yes, I see I am buffering. That is not good. Am I buffering for you guys? Can you hear me talking? Oh dear. Come on now, internet. Somebody give me a thumbs up if I'm not. I'm good? Okay, so maybe it was just on my end. Hopefully. Okay, we're good. Okay. All right. So now I'm going to have to not look over there because let me see if I can catch us up so that it's very disconcerting when I look over and it's doing something completely different from what I'm actually doing. All right. Well, we're getting close. I'm getting close. Okay, here we go. Let me catch up. I'm sorry. It's very weird. Okay. Well, I don't know what it's doing now. Okay, so maybe we're caught up. So anyway, that is how this works. We're going to go ahead and make it. It'll all be on my blog tomorrow. Oh, I did make a little envelope, obviously. I've used the Homemade Sweetness DSP. It's so cute. I love the little flowers. I love the gingham. Lots of different things. And then these little guys are fussy cut right out of the DSP. Okay, so let us commence, shall we? We shall commence. Okay. I'm gonna need our trimmer here well, we'll start with this piece. Okay, so it begins with, since I made a mess here, we'll use this side. It begins with just a regular card. It's in pecan pie. Hey, Amy. And it is 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2. And I took a piece of the Homemade Sweetness. It was really hard not to use this one, but this one worked better. This side worked better for me in this case. And what I did is I adhered a 4 by 5 1/4 inch piece of this to the front of the DSP. Now, one little thing different. In a normal card, I would only put liquid glue out here. Regardless of which adhesive you decide to use, which non-dimensional adhesive you use, you're going to kind of want it all over the panel because we're going to cut this out, okay? And with any luck, if I've done my pre-cutting ahead of time correctly and I don't make any errors, there will only be one time when I leave you. And that is going to be now. So we're going to use the branching out dies, like I said, to cut out the center of this panel. Now, little tip. The first one that I made, I used a larger die. Okay, and that probably would have been good. The problem was there wasn't enough space here to hide my accordion. Okay, so if you don't use branching out, maybe you use textured notes, maybe you have another die that you want to use. It can be really any shape. There's only going to be one limit, and I will show you that. You want to have enough space down here to hide your accordion. Okay, so that's how you got to do that. Okay, side. Okay. So now let me go ahead and put this real one back on before I go ahead and cut the wrong one out entirely. And I'm just going to take a sticky note and kind of secure it in place. Okay, so we'll try and make it kind of straight. Give that a little, and I'll be right back. I'm just going to run it through the cutting machine. Okay. Oh, Mary, you're sweet. Thank you. One thing is you are going through a piece of DSP and a card stock, so might take a couple of rolls back and forth through it, but that's no big. All right. All right, so here we go. Got to be a little careful whether you use sticky note tape or a sticky note. When you run that through the embossing machine, sometimes it decides to get jiggy and help you, you know. Okay, so there's our die cut piece, and you can see because I used the liquid glue that it's all good. So let's put this back. Okay, so then we can go ahead and fold this up and give it a good burnish. And I'm going to go ahead and do the back first so that we don't have to try to do it when it's all, you know, moving all around, okay? Just because I find that to be easier. All right, so on the back I used You're the Sweetest, and I'm stamping it in Night of Navy. Trying to get it as straight as I can. Okay. And then this will be your one and only time. Okay, no, I'm also going to do it on the envelope flap, or on the envelope, but you know what? Let's just do it all at once, right? Because that way it'll be so efficient. Thank you, Dixie. Appreciate you. All right, so down in the bottom, I'm going to take this darling little strawberry. I'm going to clean that off so I don't make a mess. And I'm going to adhere it down here at the bottom in Tuxedo Black, which is a handy way to get little seeds. And I'm going to do the same on my envelope. Like that. And I'm going to do the same with my blueberries. Now, if you wanted to, you could go ahead and make a mask with your blueberries. Let's say you'd probably want them in the front, so you would make a mask with your strawberry. Or you can do like I'm doing and have them sitting next to the strawberry instead of in front of the strawberry, because that's easier. I'd already blown your mind by doing a lot of fussy cutting on here, and I didn't want to make it worse. Okay, so let's put this away. This is a scary thing. Oh yeah, I see that it's doing it again. I don't know what is going on, to be quite honest. Anybody else still got me? Anybody else still got me? Okay. Wow, I'm way behind on my side. So, I don't know what I'm gonna go. How are we doing? I don't know what's going on. Okay, so apparently it's only a few of us. I don't know. I'm just gonna keep going. So I'm gonna take my strawberry slush Stampin' blends. And sorry to keep asking about that, but it's buffering, and I saw somebody had to drop off because it was buffering on her end, so I don't know. We've got a little weather, but it's really just rain, so if Xfinity wants to use weather as an excuse, It's weak, man. I'm just saying it's weak. Okay, so we'll color that. And I'm gonna color this one on the envelope. Remember when you use blends on the envelope, you don't want to press too hard or you run the risk of it bleeding through to the back, and nobody wants a bleeding envelope. If you think you're going to be too heavy-handed, put a piece of plastic like comes in the stamp sets, or a piece of window sheet, or even just a piece of cardstock in there, okay? And then I'll take the dark slush and just add a little bit of very, very artistically competent shading just around the edges underneath the leaves, and kind of like that. Okay, we'll do the same here. Okay, and then I'm going to use my really needs to be replaced Granny Apple Green blends to color my leaves. I have it written on my sticky note. Next order, Daffodil Delight and Granny Apple Green blends, because they're both pretty sad right now. I would love Stampin' blends to last forever and a day, but they do not. They just don't. The nibs get a little bit tired and rough, and so you do have to just plan to replace them. That's just the way it is. You know what I'm saying? All right, we're going to take, I know I said I was going to do the leaves, but I'm going to do the blueberries first. And I'm using the light blueberry bushel. It made sense. There was really no other appropriate color to use, right? I mean, it had to be the blueberry bushel. Just had to be. Not to worry, this is probably the longest time it's going to take me to do anything on this video. So for those of you thinking, oh my goodness, I saw a bunch of these on the front, you'll be glad to know I've already colored them. Yeah, because that's how I roll. I try to help you guys out. Also, today is another day to take Miss Addie Lou to the vet to change out her splint, which is good because it's raining here and her press and seal bandage cover did not keep her dry this morning. So she's got a wet bandage, which means it's wet up inside the splint, and they were very specific about not allowing that. I didn't get too panicky since it's today. It was done today, this morning. And she's going to get a new one this evening. All right. And this little guy, and then I'll do some very artistic blending there to make it look a little rounder. At least that's my story, and I'm going to stick to it. You can't tell me it doesn't look rounder, even if it doesn't. Put a little bit there, a little bit under there, a bit around here. Okay. Now let's get the Granny Apple Green. So I've got the light one for these leaves right here. You can see I'm using the bullet end. If you've been with me at all, you know I tend to use the brush end for everything, but the brush end on this one is, whew, sad, sad, sad. It's so sad. That is not a song. Oh, okay, here we go. Oh, you guys, I found the coolest, well, it's cool to me. It's on YouTube, and the channel is called Growler Jams. And it's this guy who flies an F-18G, which is, it's an electronic warfare aircraft. They go out and they, so, little military lesson for you here. When, like, air-to-air weapons are seeking a target, they send out an electronic signal. And the growlers can block that signal so they can't get a good lock, get a good targeting solution. And they can also kind of back follow that. That's not the technical term, but it works. So that they can locate the point of origin of that. And by doing that, they can cause the destruction of that system, which makes our boys and girls, men and women flying around much safer. Okay, so I have my light pecan pie. Anyway, he shows these cool things. He does like voiceovers, so he shows video from the cockpit when he's flying around, and it's really fascinating. It's fascinating. I mean, I found it fascinating, but it's hard to not just sit and just watch video after video after video. I don't know what made me think of that. All right, so we're going to put this on the back with some liquid glue. And then we're going to make our tent mechanism. Well, actually, we're going to put another piece of DSP on, and then we're going to make our tent mechanism. Okay, so there we go. There's the back. And I'm going to put a couple of little embellishments on them. These are from the strawberries and dots. And I'm going to put couple of strawberry slushy guys on here. They're very flat, which is nice. So it won't add a whole lot of thickness to your already thick card. Okay. Now, to make you're going to need 2 more pieces. We got 2 more pieces of pecan pie. This is going to be the little hinge doohickey right up there. You'll see it in just a second. And this is going to be our tent mechanism. Now, the tent mechanism is 4 inches by 4 1/4. Okay, so you're going to want it to go on the card base like this, which means you're going to score parallel with the 4 1/4 side. Okay, does that make sense? So here's the 4 1/4 side, right? 4 1/4. Okay, so I'm going to score like this, and we're going to score 4 times. We're going to score at 1/2 inch. Okay, and then we're going to score at 1 1/4 inch. Then we're going to score at 2 inches. And then at 2 3/4. 2 3/4. And the final is at 3 1/2. Okay. Now, this other piece, I'll go ahead and score it while we're here. All right. All right. Here is the only thing that you need to remember. Depending on if you look at other videos, you may see a different size for this piece right here. Here's what you want to do. If you use one of these dies, this one in particular, the second from the largest, you're going to have a 2 inch wide by 1 1/2 inch tall. Okay, you want it to be the same as the top piece of your die cut. Okay, so if this was a full rectangle, you could go all the way out to the end. You don't want it to be larger because otherwise it looks weird. Okay, can you really see it? Probably not, but it would bug me immensely knowing it was there. Okay, so whatever this top measurement is, you're going to put this hinge right at the very top of it, so you don't want to be able to see it behind it. Okay, so in this case, we have 2 inches by 1 1/2, and I'm going to score it at 3/4 of an inch. Okay. Okay, now we can put this away. This is just going to be a simple fold. And I'm going to put it right there. Now, for our accordion mechanism, we're going to score it like an accordion. Okay, so that basically means every other direction. All right. And give it a good burnish. And then the final is here like this. Okay, now here's another little piece. You'll want to figure this out. Patricia, I'm so sorry it didn't work. Hopefully the replay will be fine. I'm really hoping that it's actually recording something. I really am. All right, you see how this end and this end are small? That tells you that those pieces go in here. But when you put this in, you want it to be so that the tallest end is up, okay? And I did not cut that very good. It'll be okay. I'll make it be fine. Huh. I should have put this smaller. Isn't that the same size? Yeah, is it? Is it though? Yeah, see what I did is I put this just a little bit too low. I should have gone up a little bit higher. It'll be okay. We're gonna make it work. Here's what I'm trying to get at. If you adhere it where this piece is tucked up at the bottom of your card base, the accordion sticks out, and you really just don't want that. I wonder if I can jury rig it just a little bit. No, we're just gonna do it the way I had it. Okay, so now we're gonna put some liquid glue, and I only had to take this off 12 times when I made the first one because I kept telling myself, make sure that the tall part of the accordion goes up, and then I put it on wrong. Okay, so that should be it right there. We'll put that fold right against the bottom of the card base and even with the edges. Okay. Oh, gotta go that way. Gotta go that way, Mary. Go that way. Okay, I'll tell you why this is being a booger. Because I already put that back liner on. See, that's just like saying to the card making gods, really, just mess with me, God. Just mess with me. Okay, there we go. That ought to get it. All right. And then when you fold that up, it's a matter of putting the liquid glue on this side and bringing the back up to meet it, okay? So we're gonna just make that line up on the edges. Line up on the edges like that, and on the bottom. Okay, and there we go. So now you can see how that works, and it just holds it up very nicely. Okay, now I did do that before I put my back in, but it's okay. That's pretty easy to do, to fix. I mean, it's not easy. It would be a whole lot easier. Don't do like I just did. Put this on before you put your tent fold on. I was so excited to show you that, but I didn't do it. Okay, just slide it in, line it up, and make the sides look the same. And there you go. Okay. All right. Okay, so now let's go ahead and decorate our inner piece before we tentify it, shall we? Now, I told you I had done a little die cutting, and I have done a little bit of fussy cutting. So I stamped and colored and cut out 2 more strawberries and 1 blueberry, and then I made 2 of the little labels. They have the cutest labels in this set. Look at them. You've got this one, which is pretty large. It would fit on the front of this die cut, what am I trying to tell you? This die cut jar. You've got this one that we've used, and then you have this label, and then you've also got this, which isn't technically a label, but it could work as one pretty easily. Actually, it is a label. It'll work. All right. And you've got another couple of fun things. I love this. This makes a, like a twine or a ribbon to go around the jar, and then you have a bow that goes. So all pretty cute. And then this, of course, I really wanted to use this, but it was just way too big. Was you can cut out a piece of, I would use that one right there probably, or the flowery one, and make a cloth lid for your jars. Okay, let's put this away. And so that's what I cut out, was 2 of these, because I was afraid I would make a mistake. I was afraid I would make a mistake. And then I cut out a lemon curd, one of my favorite things, and a strawberry preserves. And the reason I didn't cut out Mr. Honeyman is I wanted to show you, because of the way my design is, I didn't need a full honey guy, so I just used one from the bottom There's a whole DSP that has all of these large ones. There's also one that has them smaller. So if you need smaller jars, we've got you covered. And it's the filled with sweet, it's the homemade sweetness DSP. Okay, and we're just gonna do a quick fussy cut, which I know scares no one because we've been talking about fussy cutting for so long now. Y'all are probably experts. Even Amy probably would have fun. These are such easy fussy cuts. And you get all these cute little guys. You got peach preserves, you've got cherry preserves, lemon curd, strawberry preserves, blueberry, all the yummy things. And then you have this little bear. And actually, he does have there is a full bear in the DSP. I just didn't need it. Okay. So let me fix this little ear ball right there. Okay. Now, we're going to go ahead and decorate him, this guy. And we're going to start with him up at the top. And I'm going to use liquid glue. We're going to put him up near the top. And then these guys, I'm going to just put on down lower, and I'm going to adhere them so that I don't cover up any of the names, but I do cover up the fact that there's no bottom to that honey. Easy peasy. Nice and squeezy. Did you see that label trying to get into the action there? All right, let's put that like right about there. I'm gonna straighten him just a little bit. Okay. Now you don't want to go past the edges of your die cut or it'll make it difficult to deal with. Okay, and then this guy is gonna be right about there. Okay. And let's see, I'm gonna go ahead and put a couple of those dots on. It's a lot easier to do the decorating on this guy before you hingify him. Uh-oh, that guy went a wall. Okay. And then we'll put one here, and then we're gonna put one, and we're gonna put a couple on the sentiment, so we'll have 5 all in. It's easy peasy. Thanks, Karen. Okay, so let's go ahead and stamp thank you in Night of Navy. Okay, everybody, hold your breath. Let's not have to use that second sentiment that I cut out. Okay, hold it just a little bit. Okay, I can take that. But you know what? I don't love it. So since I did cut a second one, why don't I go ahead and stamp it? There we go. I like that one better. Okay, and then we'll put away this. All right, now we're going to put this, I'm going to wait to put this guy on until, but I'm going to pick him up. No, I'm not. He's just going to have to cover those preserves. Okay, we'll go ahead and put him on. I'm going to put him on with dimensionals. 2 and 3. Get our hinge out, ready to go. And here we go. And we'll put him right there like that. Now, if you make this, push everything up just a little bit, okay? Just trust me. Okay, now for our hinge, we're gonna want this hinged on the back. So you need to put the fold at the top of your die cut. And this is how we're going to do that. We're just going to put some liquid glue on the back here. And I'm going to center it on the die cut with the top at the top. The top at the top. As opposed to the top at the bottom, which would be weird. Okay. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to close this down. And we're going to stick that in. And adhere it right back in place. Okay, so put liquid glue. Oh, see that dimensional cover try to get in on the action? Nope. A little more liquid glue on the back of our hinge. And place him right back in the die cut hole. There we go. And then he is now free swinging. See? Pretty darn easy and also peasy. And it all folds right down to go in your card, in your envelope, sorry. Okay, now all we got to do is put on a couple of our die cuts. And we'll go ahead and put this strawberry guy right here. Like that. Oh, don't go too far. Don't go moving around. I wouldn't if I tried. All right, and then this guy, I'm going to go about the same height wise over on this side. Oh no. I hope it wasn't a hard one that I did. That's what I hope. Now we'll put our blueberries. I've been buying blueberries like crazy. I like them in my oatmeal. I like them in my yogurt. I like them in blueberry etouffee, blueberry bars, blueberry compote, blueberry linguine. No, I'm kidding. Okay, so there's that. Let me put another couple of those little strawberry dot guys on here on the sentiment. A largie and a smallie. And there is our floating tent fold card. Thank you card. We've got room to write on the back. And then I'm just going to put some more of that pretty flowery DSP on the envelope flap. And we're going to be done ski. Ah, okay. I don't know that I've watched Allison Mayo. I'll have to see what she did. It wasn't this same fold, right? It was a different fold, because this is easy. All right, and then isn't that so cute? I love this paper. I love this design, particularly right here. Okie doke. And since you guys got conditioned for fussy cutting, this one will be nothing. Get this cut right off. But see all those envelope flaps you cut? That gets you trained up so you can see, oh, lemon curd, strawberry preserves. I gotcha. I can do that. Okie doke. There you go, guys. 2 little thank you cards made as floating tent flap, floating tents, not floating tent flaps. And they sit up just nice to be displays somewhere. And they swing. Aw. All right, I hope you've enjoyed that, and I hope that this video actually recorded. We're going to see here very shortly. So thank you for spending part of your day with me. I hope you'll be back on Saturday. I don't know what we're going to make, but it'll be something fun, I hope. Have a great rest of your week, y'all. Thanks.